Folks, welcome in to the show, The Freaky Deaky. Oops, did I just delete the entire script? No, I did not. Beautiful.
I've been there.
Great. That would have been a horrific way to start. And even though that is kind of our MO around these parts, I'd hate to do you guys like that.
We were just talking about that stuff off air.
That's called comedy genius. So there's a fine line between that and negativity.
If it was comedy genius, I would have laughed.
Christian, you don't understand comedy at all. In like the slightest. So if you don't laugh, it actually means that I was like, you know what? Perfect thing to say. You're like my dad in that instance where my entire life I was just like, hey, how can I make this guy laugh? And so I was like, I just get this for...
You got to say something funny.
Yeah, classic Christian. No, Christian. No. Folks, today we are getting into, for the first time in a long time, Tales from the Nightshift. And this has been a long time coming because I've been looking at this for months at this point. I'm like, you know what? I got to get back to that. And then I never did. And then now I'm like throwing my phone on the floor and I'm ready. But not as ready as I should have been because I could have sworn that I was going to put together an opening monologue for this episode. And I decided to put that off for a couple hours while I took care of something else. And then I never got back to it. And now we're sitting down recording and I see that I don't have it. So that's fine. Now you guys get to hear this for 30 seconds. And I will follow that up by saying, we'll see you on the inside. You are now entering the realm of the freaky deaky, an unsuspecting stop at the crossroads of fantasy and reality, where the frayed edges of make-believe seep into this cookie-cutter white picket world you've been led to believe is far from extraordinary. What you're about to hear are true stories.
Alleged true stories.
Christian, just... okay? Tales of the strange and inexplicable thought only to exist in film and folklore. Although difficult to accept, we do not know everything about this reality, about time or space, what lies beneath the ocean's depths. And try though we might, the unchanging truth remains. There are some things we legitimately cannot explain logically. Guys, welcome back to the show. As I mentioned previously, on the Freaky Deaky, we're doing Tales from the Nightshift Volume 4, and actually we're going to do a Volume 5 in the very near future. But since we're also stepping a little bit outside of exclusively paranormal content, I thought it'd be fun to do a Tales from the Nightshift that was like just humans, and it's creepy. You know, like stories where it's not like a ghost or a weird sound you heard, but like legitimate creepy ass humans that were giving you terror, you know?
I'll have a story when we get to that one.
I believe you.
Maybe more than one.
Of times that you were terrorizing night shift workers?
No, I've been night shift many times.
Okay, yeah, I thought I was going in a different direction. That's fine. Before we get into all that, and I don't know when that's going to come out. It's going to be in the near future, though, so don't trip. It is going to be a fun one, though, and it'll be a fun way to kind of tie in a series that we've done in the past, exclusively paranormal, with a little bit of the, human element as well, which is,
way
if anything,
scarier.
Yeah, much scarier. Anywho.
Demons aren't real, but humans definitely are demons. Maybe demons do exist. I just said that. They're humans. Superior brain capacity.
Yes, you got us. Before I get into this episode, guys, we are going to touch, I know I keep saying before, but we have finally reached the point in time where we are doing our holler.baby shoutouts. And I just realized that the more these come in, they're going to be spaced out apart, like a couple weeks away from each other. You know what I mean? Because we're always recording.
Multiple episodes.
And so when we get to the end of whatever shoutouts we have the next couple weeks before people even hear it's just a weird loop. So we have a couple, maybe I'll just do a couple and then do some 2 weeks.
How many did we get?
Like 3 or 4, I think, in the last couple days here.
You can save one for next week.
I have to check that out, though. I only had a screenshot from the first 2. So yeah, this first one's from Marcus. He says, "Hey dudes, loved the schizophrenia episode, and so did John, the other guy in my head." Beautiful. Thank you for that. I am so glad that is what you decided to send us, Marcus. Beautiful work.
I know John. He's in all our heads.
Watch us get a message from Marcus being like, no, I'm actually schizophrenic. And John is actually the guy in my head. And then I'll feel bad. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I was making jokes. I thought we were making jokes with each other. Shout out John. Shout out Marcus. So thank you very much for that. Secondly, we do have a shout out from Harris. It says, want to fall asleep to calm stories from history about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, UFOs, and more? If so, then search your podcast player for the podcast called Calm History. And that is from Harris. Thank you, Harris. And actually, I was intrigued by that one. I actually went and checked it out. And I got to be honest, I was checking out the Loch Ness Monster episode. That is very soothing, super soothing. And that is like right up my alley for falling asleep. So I might be a new listener myself, Harris. Shout out to you. And thank you for supporting the show.
Yeah, I like Mythical Beast.
Wow.
While I'm falling asleep.
Hell yeah. It's fine. If you want a personalized shout out or 15-second ad read for your business, be sure to visit holler.baby/thefreakydeaky. Place an order. No login necessary. Please be aware that we are currently 4 to 8 weeks out at any given time. So after your order, you're going to wait 1 to 2 months before you actually hear it on the air. All right. I just have to repeat myself because then there's no way for me to reach out and contact these people after they place orders. So you just got to be patient. And we appreciate your patience. And with that, I'm going to get going.
What the fuck is that behind you? Has that always been there?
This?
Yeah.
When I was cleaning, I found it again. I put it up.
Unacceptable.
Didn't you buy that? Yeah, you bought that. You brought it over.
Yeah. So it should not have a message like that on there.
Oh, because it says take 1452.
No.
Oh, that was a little jab, That's fine.
It's what it says at the top.
Don't listen to Christian. Yeah, well, truer words have never been spoken, but that's fine. And don't worry, it's not like we film over here. It's not like the camera comes over here. It's just for you to read.
I've noticed. I'm reading it. Luckily, my John is like, he's wrong. I listen to you all the time.
Wow.
Or do I listen to him?
Seems like both.
Could be.
Yep. Anyhow, we're going to get into this. A great time to get started. 15 minutes in. Or maybe it's 10 minutes because I moved 5 of it to the back. We never really know. Anywho, this first one is called Untitled. Wow, great start, Scott. Anyway, it's by Susan Bezick. It says, I just started working night shift at a local hospital. There are only 2 technicians and 2 pharmacists on staff at the time. I went into the ante room to scrub up to be able to go into the clean room so I can compound an IV. Yep, I knew what all that meant. As I'm finishing washing up, I hear this male voice say, it's nice to finally meet you. A little Hannibal Lecter on that, but that's fine. I turned around quickly to find that no one was in the room with me. I didn't have a choice but to shrug it off, since the IV needs to be made. It still remains in the back of my mind that night. Another time, once again, I was working night shift after a couple years this time. One of the many jobs of night shift is to restock the OR medication machines, Pixies or Pixis, who knows, while walking through PACU. I'm not even going to attempt to understand. We have medical people that are going to reach out to me and let me know what each of these acronyms means. It was a slow, uneventful night, and there was no soul or nurse to be found. This is not unusual. It's not unusual, considering it is roughly almost 2 a.m., maybe 3 a.m., depending on how busy it was in the pharmacy. As I'm walking through, the call light for an empty, dark PACU recovery room started going off. Mind you, this has never, ever happened to me before. I was nervous to walk past the empty, dark room, but quickly went around to the nurse's desk. I was tempted to press the answer button from the desk, but I proceeded quickly back to the pharmacy, trying to keep as much distance between me and that room. This time occurred shortly after I moved in with my sister after a nasty breakup. I got my new bed, and I was laying in bed with my back to the door. Typically, you can hear anyone come up the stairs, and you would know if someone was... Oh, this is definitely not night shift. This is just at this person's house. The first 2 were a night shift story. Sorry, I guess she's a little wordy. Typically, you can hear anyone come up the stairs, and you would know if someone else was upstairs with you. Anyway, as I'm laying there, I feel someone climb into my bed and put their arm around my waist.
Been there.
He has actually been there. That is a factual statement. I froze, and I didn't move. I know no one was there that I could see. I did fall asleep, though, without any issues. Wow, cuddling. The next morning, I woke up and I went straight to my sister and I told her what happened. Her face went white as ghost. Way before I moved in, she experienced the same thing after she had a fight with her husband at the time and went to sleep in another room. Those are 3 paranormal experiences, or whatever you want to call it, that I've experienced so far. Wow. Didn't need the 3rd one, but you guys are lucky that I'm generous like that, all right?
Bonus.
I have to see. I have to keep an eye on these levels, because last time we recorded, your voice was like mega ultra loud compared to my soothing, calming voice.
My face might be in a different spot too, because
that could be
it's a little adjusted differently.
Yeah. Well, your chair wasn't adjusted too much.
I'm not even facing you. It's completely different.
No, you were always facing that direction.
I was facing this direction, but now I'm like facing the other chair.
Wow. This is the one that got moved a lot. That one literally just got scooted. The stuff back there
and
got
twisted.
Scooted. Okay, you're being theatrical.
Do you see the way I have to sit to look you in the eye?
You could also just sit there and do this number. Or I could move over to this side of the couch. Or I could just start recording over there and we could play footsie while we record. Does that sound good?
Yeah, everybody at home, you guys can guess where we're pointing at.
That's right. I like to think that they can visualize it in their mind's eye.
They could, but you've rearranged the place.
Barely. I moved one seat up and then moved a desk that you can't even see. So it's fine. We're not here for interior design. We're here to talk about ghost stories and night shift stuff. So what do you think, Christian? Were you listening to that story at all? I don't think you were. I think you were doom scrolling.
I was not doom scrolling.
Well, whatever the old geezers call it, that's what you were doing.
No.
The youths understand.
I mean, you know me and these kind of stories. It's spooky to be in a hospital at night. And if there are such a thing as ghosts, they're definitely going to be there. Demons do exist. Matter of fact, sometimes that's where we should just go to a random busy hospital and just sit around or walk around where in the middle of the night and see what we run into.
Go there after visiting hours and knock on the door. Be like, do you guys have ghosts? We're here to talk about ghosts.
But I've walked around the hospitals in the middle of the night. I haven't run into any ghosts yet.
I'm sure there's a designated smoking area. We can wait outside for nurses to come out and then be like, so, any ghosts over there? See anything weird, Linda?
Yeah, Jim Bob, who died 3 years ago, comes out and smokes with us. He's standing right next to you. Is probably what she'd say.
Like, no, that's my father-in-law. He just looks old. It's fine.
Luckily, I don't have to worry about you saying that.
That is true. Yeah.
Yet. I'm sexy.
Okay.
Tell all the ladies.
That is true. You got a lot of stalkers on this podcast. They don't say it. Like, there's a lot of thirst traps. I see a lot of thirst traps. A lot of thirsty women in the comments of our show. Hey, ladies, keep it to yourselves, all right? You wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't expect a spooky ghost show to have a widely female audience that not only is within your age range, but also DTF, apparently. So
wait till we get into crime.
Then we're going to open it up to like every generation of female for whatever reason. And that's fine, I guess. You guys like whatever you like, you know?
Murder.
This next story is called Scared the Shit Out of Me. And you'll see why in a minute. And it's by Christopher Wang. And Christian, I see you smirking over there. Please don't make any jokes. Okay. Not at Mr. Wang's expense. Not at my expense.
I'll leave the comedy to you.
Thank you. As you should. All right. There's a little thing called timing. It's really hard to master. Anyway, it's by Christopher Wang. No jokes. It's fine. Back when I was in college, my roommates and I used to work at our event center on the weekends, usually working events and cleaning up and setting up for the next venue. We usually had roughly 10 to 15 people working these shifts from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. There were rumors that the event center was haunted, but I never really paid attention to it. Here are some of the interesting things that happened to us. First, my roommate was a shift supervisor and had the privilege of walking through the center after all of us left to make sure all the doors were locked and to eventually lock up the front door. We had just finished setting up for a basketball game for the next day, and he was doing his rounds. As he was checking the gym, he decided to shoot a few baskets. Hell yeah. As he shot a basket, he heard someone yell, "Hello," from the gangplank above the basketball court. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's way up. Is
that like the rafter thing? Like where you just like some...
Yeah,
okay.
Where the lighting is, I believe.
That's what I was picturing, but I'd never heard what it was called. And so I'm like, what is that thing? But so anyway, here's someone yell hello from the gangplank above the basketball court. He looked up and saw a person looking down at him, not dressed in our uniform. He immediately shouted at the person and asked them what they were doing there. The person smiled at him, then moved back into the shadows and disappeared. This was creepy as it was around 3:15 a.m. No one was in the building, and he had made sure all the upper floors were locked earlier. There was only one door to the gangplank, and he had made sure it was locked prior to his going to the basketball court. Also, the gangplank is not too wide, so there was really nowhere the quote person could hide. My roommate hurriedly locked the front door and got out of there. Number 2. I usually clean the locker rooms during my shift. They are by the arena floor and are pretty remote from the rest of the cleaning and setup crew. There were times when it would get really cold in some spots for no reason. I would also hear faint voices talking and laughing from the showers, but would find no one there. Also, the hairs on the back of my neck would stand up constantly for no reason. When these things happened, I would clean up fast and leave. One time, Close to leaving time, I had to use the restroom. I went to the main restroom and sat down to do my business. Even though it was pretty early in the morning, I did my routine of checking the stalls to make sure I was the only one in the restroom out of habit. While I was in the middle of doing my business, the toilet next to me flushes, the sink turned on and off, and the lights shut off. I was in pitch darkness and had no way of seeing, as this was prior to cell phones. This literally scared the shit out of me, and I cleaned up as best I could and got out of the stall. I thought one of my coworkers had messed with me, but after I turned on the light, no one was there and no one was on my floor when I left the restroom. When I asked the crew about it, no one had been on my floor, as they were all in the office getting ready to leave. Weird. No thanks.
The hello guy.
Just dropping a deuce.
Except when he was, when he turned off the lights in the bathroom, he was saying hello like Lionel Richie did back in the day.
Hello. Classic stuff. And it was him you were looking for, it turns out, but he wasn't there because he's a ghost. So what can you do? That I have the most disturbing mental image of the gangplank guy. Not just like a hello, but like a hello and then disappearing into the shadows and just creeping you the hell out, dude. Why?
My image of him is saying hello looking like a regular person, and then as it creeps into the shadows, it like turns into a shadow. The last thing you see is the whites of the eyes before
with the smile forming up slowly.
Yeah,
creepier.
I feel like that's a guy I saw in one of the scary movies or something. Not scary movies, but a horror film.
Was it Scary Movie 3?
I said it wasn't one of those. I said it was an actual scary movie.
Okay, well, to some of us, Christian, that may not have been fully submerged in the horror genre at young ages, maybe that was scary. Maybe the funny ha-has made up for it.
I didn't watch any scary movies until I was like a teenager.
What?
I was afraid of them.
Oh, you're saying scary. I thought you were talking about the Scary Movie franchise now, because that's what I was talking about.
Okay, horror film.
There you go. Thank you.
That franchise has ruined it for everybody.
That does happen. The
first one was great, though.
Which one?
Scary Movie.
Okay, we are talking about Scary Movie now.
This time, yes.
Okay, yeah. I think the only one I ever saw was 3. I might have seen 4, but I know the only DVD I bought was 3.
I feel like I've only seen like the first 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many there are now.
I don't even think it's a series where you have to go in order. You can pick and choose, which I did, and I enjoyed it. Back before Kevin Hart was some wildly famous dude.
Not as funny as most of them.
He has his moments.
He does. He does make me laugh, but I like him more as an actor. Sure. As far as the comedy goes.
I see.
It's more my style.
Yeah.
As opposed to a stand-up.
True.
Reminds me of Chris Rock.
As an actor or as a stand-up?
As a stand-up.
Okay.
Just somebody I can't get into. Not saying they're bad or good. Just
Is there any common denominator, do you think, that maybe you're not a fan of?
No, because Chris Tucker has curly hair.
Okay. Are we adding Chris Tucker to the list?
Not Chris Tucker. Chris Rock.
Wow. What, do they all look the same, Christian? Is that where you're going with this?
There's no list that Chris Tucker's on. There's no list.
Sure. Yeah, it doesn't exist, everyone. Just a fart in the wind. It's all good. Anyway, we're going to get out of this before we get into too much trouble. Sorry to our sponsors, Marcus and John.
See, that was comedic gold.
And Harris.
That was pretty good.
Was it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's fine, Christian. We'll get into this next one, which is called Terrifyingly Wholesome, I believe. I have to make sure. Dude, I skipped a story. Remember I think it was last week. I was like, oh, this one Craigslist story is nonsense, so the episode's going to be shorter. No, it turns out I skipped a story, too. The episode would have been fine. Oh. It would have been the exact perfect length if I didn't accidentally scroll past a different story.
We all know that since this is going to be a wholesome story, I will probably make it unwholesome.
It's terrifyingly wholesome.
Got it.
It's creepy to think about, but also wholesome. And if regarding the episode from last week, because of that little faux pas, I created a special outro song. So if you didn't listen to the outro song, you need to, because it makes me laugh every time. And that's fine.
On last week's episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is in the future 258, not the one that you're thinking of. Those last week.
I like 254. It's a band.
Okay. Anywho, this one's by Courtney Tabor. You know what? I give up.
I think that last one you nailed it.
Yeah. Tabor sounds super white. Anyway.
Sounds like Wang. You know, as you were reading that, I just got this feeling, because Wang was more of a popular name when I was younger. I'm wondering if it's because it's Wong, like with an H-A or H-A-U or whatever, however it's spelled, and they Americanized it so much to make it easier for us that it came out Wang. And then, I don't know. Moving on.
I was talking about penises. I thought that was pretty clear.
I'm talking about like why I don't really meet anybody with the last name Wang anymore when I used to a lot when I was a kid.
Okay.
I think they're like, oh, the Americans finally can speak a little Asian. Not that that's a language.
A little Asian?
Not that that's a language. But
Christian, you are getting yourself into some hot water this episode.
No, you know what I mean, though. It's like, never mind.
That's fine. First the black people, and now who's next? Christian, how you gonna pick on the honkies?
You just got to stick around and find out.
That's right. All that and more, probably in 5 minutes, because he can't help himself. Anyway, so this is by Courtney Tabor. And it says, I work senior care, and some of our clients are on 24/7 care. This means that we don't go home until another caregiver comes to relieve us, and someone is always present, even through the night. That night shift goes from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Once I was working this shift with a client who lived in a 2-story ranch house. To make things easier, we set up baby monitors to hear his room from the lower floor. I was trying to get him to go to bed and went down to put something away. I heard the monitor crackle and then heard him talking. What freaked me out about this was that a woman's voice answered him back. We were the only 2 people in the house. The client's wife had died a few years ago. I'm convinced that she comes to visit him every so often. She was a lovely woman from what I heard, but that's the last thing you want to hear at 1 a.m. And that is true. It's at the same, you're like, hey, very wholesome. How sweet. Coming back from the dead, visit your husband Dingus, who probably can't get along without you, doesn't remember where anything is in the fridge. And you're like, hey, the mustard is, and it doesn't go there. It's on the 3rd shelf, you dingus. I came back from the dead to tell you this. Also, I miss you.
And I smoke too much with that voice you're using, for sure.
Well, she was whispering because it's, early in the morning. She doesn't want to wake the other ghosts. Clearly.
I guess
she knew she knew the baby monitor was there. She was like, you know what?
Yeah, what if he project?
I'm like lowering your shit because it looks so loud. But it sounds like the exact same level in my ears, right? Okay. Don't we sound like the same?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just, I never understand it. And everything was fine. That's why I wonder if Atlas came in here was touching stuff. Okay, continue.
What if she's not the ghost that she appears to be, and she is just a projection of consciousness from his mind? I've been on a telepathy kick the last 2 months. So I've been thinking about everything a little bit differently. So it just makes me wonder, like, not everybody gets visited. We've heard the stories a million times when things like this happen where a loved one comes back to see somebody, their partner.
Sure.
But I just get the feeling that in this case, it almost takes 2 to tango. Like he would have to maybe help her in.
Well, like vampires? Like yes, you may enter.
Like a consciousness thing. Like he makes that connection and she knows on a different level, like a subconscious level, that she needs to be there for him at that time, or he just needs to talk to her.
What if the forming of, the union where 2 become 1, and she's just stuck around till you pass on too?
That's not how it works.
You're like, we're both the same person now because we're married.
That's not how it works, man.
That's what they say, right? That's what the pastor or whatever says when he's like, yeah, now you are now 1. And you're like, we are now 1.
Half of that is just like, some of it is, oh yeah, good. You guys are 1 person now. And some of it is just some controlling words and possession words.
Wow. Controlling words and possession. Wow. Interesting. You were just on a real kick tonight.
You were right about 5 minutes, weren't you?
I was, yeah. That was roughly when I said it.
And I'm not knocking marriage. I'm just saying that
that's a little late.
There's some words in there that not equal partnership.
Yeah. And some people just like to sow their wild oats, You don't have to get married, Christian. I'm not attacking you for not being married and being a cool bachelor guy. That's everyone's dream,
I mean, you see me more than anybody. Mm-hmm. Do I have that much time?
All the time in the world. You got nothing but time, dude. Look around you. It's a flat circle. You can do literally anything you want.
Maybe I'm already doing it. You took us there, not me.
I did. For once, it was me. Spider-Man meme. It's fine. Let's get into this next one from Kenna-Jean Haymaker. It can't be maybe Haymaker. Can you imagine
that last name? That video, do you?
Haymaker. Yeah.
I'm thinking, bang. Bang.
Anyone that says that is like Emerald Lagasse. You know what I mean? Like, that's too much. Don't be beating the shit out of someone and say bang every time you hit them in the face.
If you guys haven't already seen it, there is a great video of a hockey player who some guy just got drunk and wanted to start a fight with on a golf course. And the fight starts with this former enforcer throwing the guy in the lake. And that wasn't even the worst part of the fight. It was just hilarious. Like, I don't like violence, but that was pretty funny.
It seemed like you enjoyed that one.
I did, because the guy wasn't hitting him that hard.
Okay, well, if you were on the receiving end of that, you might be saying something different.
Yeah, but you know from watching that video, that guy was pulling his punch, because you've seen enforcers fight.
Yes.
So
that is true. I have witnessed that.
And you saw him throw that guy like 6 or 7 feet.
Yeah, there's a nice little ragdoll moment there.
I'm going to post that. You guys have already seen it because I posted it.
If that's what you want to tell yourself.
Okay, sorry. I derailed it. Am I still talking loud? I'm trying not to.
I honestly, it looks like it, yeah. But see, that's the thing is it doesn't always happen. But last week it happened, and I had to go through and like edit chunks of me to be louder, and I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. We're doing the exact same thing. Am I just not talking into the same area of the microphone that you're talking? It all looks the same. Like, do I have to be like this? I don't think it. Even that looks. I have no idea. There's all the settings are the exact fucking same. I have no idea.
I don't feel like I'm talking any different.
You're not. That's the thing. And now I worry that like you'll talk too low, and then I'll go and I'm like, fuck, now it's too low.
No,
you know.
I'm just trying to get a better spacing.
That is what it is. Whatever. Who cares? Who cares anymore? Anyway, this next one for SEO purposes is called Haunting Graveyard Shift. Anyway, says, I've had 2 super creepy things happen to me while on graveyard shift at a medical facility I worked for. 1, an elderly lady would call out at night who would die next. Creepy. No thanks. She said no matter what.
That's hilarious. I mean, not hilarious, but some old lady just yelling down the hallway.
Carol. Yeah, you're like, oh no, not Carol. Anyway, no matter what saving precautions we tried, they would still die. All the staff we put on high alert every time she said a name. She died after she had become friends with me.
It's like that cat.
Who's the real Reaper? Yeah, that is true.
That cat. I know we talked about that cat before.
I don't think we have, but we've probably both seen the story.
I'm pretty sure we have. Or maybe we've mentioned it.
Maybe in passing.
To other stories.
Yeah. I just remember it specifically from reading that article and being like, huh. All right. And number 2, a client had schizophrenia admission.
What?
They were schizophrenia admission. So they just had schizophrenia and she worded it weird. When checking on her room at night, I saw a black shadow man with red eyes, and without fail, I would be hit by something or hear growling each time I went in her room at night to check on her. I almost quit over this incident. Now that is crazy.
The nurse needs to find Jesus because shadow people don't growl.
Well, first of all, shadow people aren't real, Christian. So
I know.
That.
I was waiting for you to say that.
They simply do not exist. These people all have crazy things going on in their head.
I wouldn't go that far.
I just did. It's the truth. It's the Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Yeah.
She got called out yesterday.
Name. It really did be like that.
When they called out Karen, though, everybody cheered. I don't know why. Bruce, same thing.
I believe you mean Caitlin.
I was talking about Bruce Almighty.
I believe
or any
you
Bruce.
mean
Bruce is
Evan.
Evan is the equivalent to Karen for you young people. I think Bruce for people my age.
No, isn't it like Chad or something like that?
Oh, Chad. I forgot about that.
I think it's Chad. I think it's Karen and, well, maybe, no, Chad might be good. And who is the...
I mean, I have a friend named Chad. He's a good guy.
Sure. It's fine. It's irrelevant, guys. Honestly, who cares? You know, we're just both worried about that. It honestly looks like mine is getting lower and lower, and I am not doing anything different. It's
just
like
talk, man. Just
slowly going.
Post-production.
No, see, that's the thing. The harder this show gets to edit, the more I want to just walk out.
You can call me back in and we can do a dubbing session. Like they do
you just listen to every sentence you say and then be like, just talk, say that sentence back in. That would be the worst episode of all time. Just, I played it out in my head right now of just the time that would take. It's like 24 hours of us just in this studio. Okay, then you said something about almonds. So you have to say something about almonds, but it's fine. Anyway, guys, this next one.
If I say something about cherries, call the doctor. Going down.
So anyway, this next one is called Remember, and then in parentheses, the ghost of, and then the Alamo.
Oh, I was like, remember
the Titans.
No.
The 4th of November.
Yeah. I don't think that's the right day.
It's the 4th, but I don't know who. Yeah, honestly, again, I got to reiterate, Who cares, you know?
Guy Fawkes cares.
Okay. Anywho.
He thinks about everything over and over again.
That is true. This is by Jerry Mann. We took my wife's sister on a walking tour of the Alamo during her visit from Pennsylvania a few years ago. The story of the Alamo has pretty much reached mythical status where a hardy band of Texans put up a last bastion of defense against massive hordes of invading Mexicans. Hey, that sounds familiar.
Is he mansplaining the Alamo?
I believe he is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe he's someone that doesn't believe it's as great as it was. So he's like, whatever.
I mean, it does look tiny in that where it's at, because I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's because there's big buildings around it.
Sure. That would probably do it.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, well, it doesn't look as grand now. Very easy to forget the Alamo now. Anyway. So, invading Mexicans. Reality wasn't quite like that. But what is real, that a couple of those fighters in the Alamo were Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett.
Oh, he's way...
That was close to being David Bowie.
He's way mansplaining.
Mm-hmm. Which has made for some interesting movies. Yeah, see, and I should have actually just cut that out because it has absolutely nothing to do with the story.
Oh, we just made fun of it. It's perfect.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we took him to the Alamo. And also, while we're on the subject of the Alamo, all this crap, and now here's my sister's bit.
I like the Mexicans invading when it was kind of the other way around in that region.
Wow, Christian siding with the bad people. That's fine.
No, I mean, that was...
No, I just needed to get in hot water myself so that you could not be alone in there. It's called camaraderie, all right? Anyway, one thing you will see around the Alamo and during special celebrations of San Antonio are reenactors. These are folks that... Okay, we know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, these are folks that dress the part of historical Alamo figures, complete with muskets and costume. This guy sounds like an AI. He sounds like you asked an AI to tell you about the Alamo. Get it together, my friend.
He sounds like a douche.
A little bit, like one of those like kind of pretentious dudes.
Yeah, let me explain everything to you.
Says encyclopedia. Yeah, classic. Now, about that late night shift thing. Yeah, let's get to the actual story, dude. All right. My wife's sister always asks questions, mostly offbeat questions. So she wandered up to a security guard during our Alamo visit and asked, "Have you seen any ghosts here?" This is pretty much what the guard told her. I guess it was around 2 a.m, and I was walking my rounds on the walkway around the building. As I turned a corner, I saw a fellow dressed in a pretty shabby attempt at a reenactment costume. He was carrying a musket and had a knife in his belt. I thought he was one of those reenactors, probably drunk. "Sir, you can't be in here. The grounds are closed." I was thinking he must have stayed hidden after the monument closed because all the entrances were locked tight. The gentleman walked toward me and removed his battered hat and stopped in front of me. He calmly looked at me up and down from my head to my feet. His hair was grayish and seemed dirty, and he needed a shave. "Sir, I will walk you to the gate. You need to leave." He put his hat back on his head, looked me in the eye, and nodded. He then turned and started walking toward the high adobe wall, almost dragging his musket along with him. "Sir," I called out. He just kept walking. He approached the wall and walked through it. I stood there and started shaking. It made no sense. I refused to work the late night shift by myself for a couple weeks after that. I have since become convinced that he was the spirit of an Alamo defender. There was no exit through that wall there. I swear that he calmly walked through the wall. I would have never thought to ask this question of the security guard. My sister got it right.
You know why he wouldn't have asked before I get onto the story? The reason he wouldn't have asked the security guard any questions.
He was explaining about the Alamo to the security guard.
Yeah, he knows it already.
Yeah. He's like, these things.
That was actually a really good story.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I like that one. No, I didn't really care for the author, but I do enjoy the story. Thanks for that.
Well, because the story came from the security guard. So obviously it got better right then, but it's very fascinating. The little tidbit in there that kind of sold me a little bit on the story was
they walked through the wall, so he's definitely a ghost.
No. The removing his hat. Because that's kind of what you're supposed to do.
When you're talking to someone?
Yeah, in certain situations, you remove your hat out of respect. Yeah. Or, maybe because...
Do you want me to take my hat off, Christian? You can just say it. Do you want me to take it off?
No, those times are gone, man.
If you want me to take my hat off to respect you further, I can do that. No, you just got to...
In this America, we hate each other.
Oh, cool. All right.
So we don't respect each other.
But remember the Alamo either way, so...
And, fun fact...
are you going to do it now?
My one haunting experience that I was convinced was maybe a ghost was right across the street.
Happened at the Alamo.
Yeah. A hotel right next to it. I could look out my window and see the Alamo.
Maybe it's the same guy.
Maybe.
Interesting. It seems like maybe
demons do exist. They don't still.
we did it. Yeah, that would be creepy. There's really no denying that. If that happens to you, at that point, you're like, I guess I just believe in ghosts now.
I believe in
ghosts.
I would be like, I believe in one ghost.
Wow. Which means that you have to believe in all ghosts.
No, I don't.
You don't have to believe every story of a ghost, but you have to believe that ghosts exist. There can't just be the one ghost.
I don't think ghosts are ghost.
Yeah, we've established that.
At least at our interpretation of ghost. And we have talked about this a million times. If you're new to the show,
he's going to mansplain it to you the same way that author mansplained the Alamo to the rest of us.
Everybody that's been here for a while understands what we believe on this subject. But oftentimes we talk about a recording in time being a ghost. But the earlier story where the wife came to visit the husband takes me back to this part where a lot of indigenous cultures have believed throughout history that as long as you remember that person, they're still with you.
Yeah.
So in this case, once maybe the husband died, the wife is done with this time, her time here.
Yeah.
And it's time to move on.
Yeah, you survive until the last person forgets you.
Well, I mean, and then you're not nothing. You've moved somewhere else, in my opinion.
I'm not an expert. Where's that at?
Also, Scott is always right.
Nice little finishing cap on that one, Christian. Thank you.
Especially, not a good, I don't know. Never mind. I'm moving on. I'm stumbling.
Sorry.
Beat it out of them. How many more stories? I love the probing. Who doesn't?
I believe 2.
Okay, I can make it.
You got to go pee-pee?
Yeah.
All right, don't forget to get some candy beans afterwards.
Or should I go now?
I don't care if you want to go now.
Yeah, I'm getting fidgety.
Yeah, it's never fun. I'll spin the people a nice yarn while you're away. This next one is called I Couldn't Take Them With Me.
I like the title.
Yeah, it's the title is a lot more fascinating sounding than it actually is. But this is kind of a creepy story, so I will say that. It's by Barbie Grant, not Ken, if that was the reference you're going to make.
No.
Okay.
It's Barbie's side piece, Grant.
Wow, Barbie Grant.
No,
it's a tuition grant that she got for college because Barbie's a smart, intellectual, INDEPENDENT woman. Okay? Independent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, it says, I used to work night shift at a nursing home. I just started doing my nightly pickup of laundry outside the rooms where they leave their laundry bags. There was a man I'll call Chuck, who was a resident. I'm going to call him Steve. He hated leaving his laundry outside his door because he thought he wouldn't get his clothing back. After reassuring him for the umpteenth time, he finally let me take it. So this particular night started off strange. Lights flickered and residents seemed uneasy, fitful sleeping and walking around aimlessly. We tried getting everyone in their rooms and get them in bed. I did notice that Chuck/Steve wasn't out, but then again, he wasn't the social type, so I brushed it off. As I'm doing my rounds, I see Chuck/Steve dressed and standing at the end of the hallway where his room is. I say to him, Chuck/Steve, why are you dressed and out of bed? It's late. He turns towards his room and goes in. I finish with that end of the hall and start walking toward Chuck/Steve's room. As I approach, the lights in the hallway go out. I take my cell phone and turn on the flashlight. Chuck/Steve is standing on the other end of the hall that I had just left from. Confused, I say, Chuck/Steve? How did you do that? He walks toward the game room behind a wall and I lose sight of him. I call my supervisor and let her know that Chuck/Steve's walking around in the dark. I'm too scared to walk there alone to get him and to send security to help me find him. Security shows up and we go into the game room. No Chuck/Steve. Security asks if I'm sure I saw him and I say I'm absolutely sure. Let's go back to his room. At this time, I'm simply dumbfounded as to how this is even happening. Well, we go into his room and Chuck/Steve has died. You saw that one coming though?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. No alarms went off on his monitor, nothing to alert us he was in any distress. The clothes I saw him in were in a bag with a note on top that said, I couldn't take them with me. I still get chills when I tell the story. It was a very weird night.
That's a great story, too.
That is really creepy. That's, like, again, has very creepy elements, but also at the end, you're like, oh, that's good.
See, I didn't think that was creepy at all.
Really? Okay, no, but picture living it out. Picture you're walking in the dark with a flashlight or whatever, trying to go find this dude, and you turn around and you see him walking from where you just came, and then he disappears behind a wall. Like, that's some straight up, that's like, if you picture like a horror movie.
I'm going to tell you how I picture it if I was in that same situation. I see Chuck Steve down at the end of the hallway.
Of course.
I start walking down toward him, and he goes in his room, and
then you're like, well, he's probably sleeping. I'll see him tomorrow.
No, I'm like, I turn around, he's at the other end of the hall. I'm like, son of a bitch, Chuck Steve's dead.
Is that what you say? Immediately,
yeah,
like, Chuck Steve must be dead.
I wouldn't be like, how did you do that? I'd be like, oh shit, he's dead, obviously, because that's what happened.
But see, then you'd be in the uncomfortable position again of yet again saying, well, I guess there's another ghost. You know?
I'd be like, he must be, that doesn't necessarily seem like a ghost to me when they're there right after they die.
All right, well, if he's, pulling an Adele and calling hello from the other side, what else,
He was just on his way out. He just died. How else is he going to leave? Sometimes you see them leave when they die.
You think they'd leave through, like it's an exit through the gift shop situation, or you think they just float?
Do I need to remind you of the cop story?
I do remember that cop story. You don't have to even remind me. I know what cop story you're talking about.
Yeah, sometimes
But it's kind of weird. So you're saying that he's sitting in his room.
No, he's dead in his room. He's walking around on his way out.
As a ghost, he's walking around. But like he left the clothes also by the door because he's like, I can't take these with me. So who wrote the note?
Obviously he did.
Alive Steve before he died?
Yeah, we've talked about this a million. Like these guys know when they're going sometimes.
Sometimes. He's like, well, I can't take these clothes with me, so I guess I'll leave them by the door. But then the ghost Chuck Steve was wearing the clothes, so he did take them.
I mean, you can project your, whatever.
Is it like a game where you kind of pick your outfit? China with that Harry Potter game, she'll sit there like before the game even begins. She spent 45 minutes customizing her character. And I'm like, for the love of all things holy, woman, play the game, the
only thing I customized on my hockey player is
his
just
face.
The hair I gave him a mullet.
Wow. Disgusting.
I know.
Disgusting move, Christian.
Just because I'm like, it is pretty horrible.
It's the worst. Why would you do something like that,
There's also a glitch in that game where Brady Skay has gray hair.
Brady's gay?
Skay.
Who's that?
Or Scott. It's Brady Skay. He played on the Rangers. I forgot what team he's on now.
Nashville?
I feel like that's right.
I'm trying to picture where I might have seen that spelled on a jersey.
It's Skeij.
Oh.
And every time his helmet pops off, he's like this old man on the rink. It's so weird. But yeah.
Classic.
I can't take that long setting on my player. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
But some people...
That's it. No, China wants her to look exactly like her. She kind of does. You're like, wow, interesting.
My best friend Tom did that in hockey. And he made his player look just like him.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of work because...
He's an ugly son of a gun.
No, Tom's part Asian.
Oh.
You have to work hard to get an Asian on one of the NHL games. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. Well, you just shrink them down to 5'6". I'm sorry. There's this episode has way too many racist jokes, Christian, and it has to stop now. Okay?
No, it doesn't. They must think the way I think.
That's fine. I think by now, 5 years in, people probably should know that we're not racist. And if this is the first episode you listen to, apologies. But also, we're not racist.
Call us out if you want to. It's just sure. It's good for the viewership.
And I think someone has tried that in the past. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, because their argument was completely just...
Don't let me see it.
Yeah. Well, it was a couple years ago, so you probably wouldn't.
No, but yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway, we're going to close it out with this final story, which is what you do with closeout stories, is you make sure it's the final one. And it's by Gayatri Kanakam.
Already not going to beat the other two.
Gayatri Kanakam. The Sleepy Specter is what it's called. I used to work in a call center doing night shifts. The new building of our office in Hyderabad.
I believe that's Pakistan.
Well, it's a call
that
center.
Might be Afghanistan.
It's a call center, Christian, so obviously it's in one of those, Was told to be haunted or India.
It's either Pakistan or Afghanistan. Wait, you might be right.
Yeah, it is a call center, Christian, so there's very limited options for this.
Is there really, though?
I can promise you every time I call anyone, it's never in America, okay? And that's difficult when you're trying to get solutions.
Because they pay them like $2 a day.
Exactly. So we have to blame corporations, but this really isn't the podcast for that. This is for the ghosts. I don't know. It does sound like a Middle East name, though.
It is. It's Pakistan, like I said. I am brilliant.
Brilliant, Christian? Is this the bar for brilliance? Is knowing where Hyderabad is?
After 9/11, everybody should know where
After 9/11, everyone should know where Hyderabad is?
Yeah, because it was in the news like every day for a long time.
I was 11.
That's not an excuse.
Yeah, I should know for sure. Anyway, so these people in not India was told to be haunted. At least that was the employees. At least that's what employees thought and spread the same. It's just so we can, put a nice little bow on it because we got off topic there. New call center building in Hyderabad, which is not in India, it's in Pakistan, is allegedly haunted. People used to say that they used to hear noises from a floor which is supposed to be empty in the night. There used to be no lights on the floor, so nobody dared to go there. Maybe it was a rumor started by security so that people don't go there in the night. There was a bathroom that keeps flushing no matter how many times plumbers checked. They couldn't find an issue, so the bathroom was closed with water supply cut off. People can still hear the sounds of flush, but without water. We used to make jokes that it was some ghost with an upset stomach for eternity. Sick room. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. That thought was not good. It's fine. Sick room was told to be haunted as well. One day, my friend said she was going to sleep for some time. After a while, I saw that she left her phone. I thought, I will keep the phone next to her. I thought I will put the phone, I have to fix the language as I go along. I thought I would put the phone next to her in the room. It wasn't needed, but then I thought I can get away from my desk and angry customers for a while. Now that is needed. So I went in the room and on the bed looked like somebody was sleeping under the blanket. I left the phone and came out. I saw my friend walking towards me with a question mark face. I was also surprised and asked her how come she is out of the room and who was sleeping in the room. She said she doesn't know and that she was coming from the cafeteria and was about to go to the room and lie down. I told her about the phone and we went in to check, but the bed was empty. The blanket was neatly folded and the bed didn't look like anybody slept on it. Both of us just looked at each other and ran out of there, and we were so scared that we couldn't speak or breathe for some time. I was scared so much that I left the company. Maybe I imagined somebody sleeping, and as I was thinking not to disturb my friend in her sleep, or maybe it was some ghost playing with us, but I never went into the sick room in any other company I worked. Wow, so this dude got scarred from the sick room for life. Any sick room, doesn't matter if it's a call center or a Wendy's.
That's a bit much.
Wendy's also doesn't have a sick room. It's called the bathroom, but it's fine.
It's nice to know they have ghosts in other places.
There might be a Djinn in that region.
No, it sounded like a ghost. Djinn are different. And we're way past. Pakistan's not necessarily in Djinn region. It's way north of that.
I just figure anyone outside of America calls him Djinn. Man, is that a honky thing to do?
Yes.
It's a little bit, yeah.
My theory on the ghost was a old 100-or-something-year-old British ghost.
That was just taking a nap?
Well...
Was he taking a nap because he's old or because...
He probably had died because he couldn't handle the spicy food in the region when they were trying to take over the area.
And let me guess, Christian, the spicy food is also responsible for the flushing ghost, yeah?
Right.
Just constant for eternity, flushing nonstop.
Like, check this crap out.
Check this crap out.
Toilets
literally.
That flush.
Yeah. Wow. This is going to be called the racist episode. Apologies.
Well, if he's a 100-year-old British ghost, 100-year-old British ghost,
sure,
or more, didn't have a flushing toilet. They weren't like Roman.
Wow. Well, now we got that out of the way. Apologies to our sponsors. This is the first episode that we decided to do holler.baby shoutouts, and it was the episode that was probably the most racially charged. Funny, hilarious. I enjoyed it, but I don't. Just as I have to say this. I hate that I live in the world that I got to say this, but obviously Christian and I are wildly racist. Good night.
If the conversation's boring and Benner makes you feel like trolling, if you hate the sound of laughter, feel free to leave a comment after. The timestamps are in the description. If you can't read, maybe you can listen. If still you refuse, the comment section you can use. You can comment on these nuts. These nuts. Comment on these nuts. is stalking by your window. Dogman is scratching at your door. Ghosties are walking up and down your halls at night, and the Hat Man is coming back for more. Your name is Christian, you love a can of beans, and you're the wettest blanket skeptic this world has ever seen. You're almost always wrong, it's quite an impressive streaky. This song has rambled on too long. Welcome to the freaky deaky. Your name is Christian, you're named ironically, because the only belief you have can be found in a can of beans. You're almost never right, and now you get roasted weekly. This song has rambled on too long. Welcome to the freaky deaky. Also, ghosts exist, just an FYI. Aliens are feeling blue. The Ouija demon's lonely because they believe in you. In you. In you. They believe in you. Your name is Christian, you love a can of beans, and you're the rightest blanket skeptic this world has ever seen. You're almost always wrong, it's quite an impressive streaky. This song has rambled on too long. Welcome to the freaky deaky. Your name is Christian, you're named ironically, because the only belief you have can be found in a can of beans. You're almost never right, and now you get roasted weekly. This song has rambled on too long. Welcome to the freaky deaky. Also, ghosts exist, just an FYI. Aliens are feeling blue. The Ouija demon's lonely because they believe in you, in you, in you. They believe in you.
Before I forget, when I stopped into the store to grab my check and stuff, the guys, I was telling them I was going to record, that I might swing back by on the way. And they're like, oh, you guys need to do Twitch.
Yeah, I've been telling you that.
I know, but they're like, and I'm like, I know you said that before. I'm like, I have no idea how to do Twitch and he's like, you could just record the whole time you're recording and people will just sit there and watch it. I'm like, that's weird also, but I know that's how Twitch works.
Yeah. My thing was more doing Twitch as video games, like doing horror video games and just live streaming that. And just have that be the content on Twitch is just us playing terrifying. And there's way too many now where you don't have weapons. You have to be quiet, just walk around houses and stuff. And
I hate those.
Yeah, you'd probably handle that a little better than I would. I'd be screaming.
I don't have patience.
Yeah, I know, right? And I'm like, where's the weapons at? I want to stab someone, you know?
That's why I don't play games that much that take a long time. I don't have the patience.
Yeah.
I don't have the time.
But see, if you had like a viewership that enjoyed watching you play those games.
They were convinced that just us
doing this.
Yeah, would get watches. So I'm going to look into it a little bit.
I mean, that would be incredibly hilarious if the unedited, unpolished, us sitting here talking, shooting the shit was the thing that was like, oh, everyone loves this. Meanwhile, I'm breaking my back for 5 years trying to clean this thing up.
Well, and I was like, what's the weed policy if we're live? And they're like, I don't know. I think you can't do that. I'm like, we could always put up like hit a button and turn off one of the cameras and have like a thing come up with Bigfoot in a forest and there's a weed plant somewhere in the back. So
Or you could just hold up a piece of cardboard in front of your face and take a fat rip with, we got a fog machine we never got to use. So,
yeah, we'd have to just blow that out there.
Yeah, you just turn that on and be like, hey, look, the fog machine is on. Be like, it's really just not the fog machine,
So I'm going to look into it. I want to see, because if
the thing that we need to look into, though, is extending the Wi-Fi, which I think, according to the guy when he came out here, was only like $4 a month for this little thing that you plug in and pushes the signal in further.
We need to do that anyway. It's time to start interviewing people. So I'll pay. Just get them out here, figure it out, and let me know what you need. Because like I said, I have money sitting there I'd be willing to use for the podcast when we.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, that would probably be for actual like live streaming, like software or something like that, like a subscription on that. But I think there is also like a free one. So
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention it before we get into recording, and I'll forget for a couple of days.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
But the way they're young 20s.
So they know what's hip right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm all too familiar with those days. I miss them dearly. But I would love nothing more. I do have a TV right there. I would love nothing more than for us just to play video games and have people watch us and scream at us.
I mean, I would do that too, but I don't know if we have that kind of time.
We got the lighting. We got that. I mean, it's a nighttime thing. At that point, it's like we record at night when my son's asleep. At that point, it's like, all right, we're just going to play video games for a couple hours. Unfortunately, with that,
I'd have to quit my job.
Yeah, video games for a couple hours turns into like 12 hours. And you're like, what year is it? What happened?
I have self-control.
Okay. I seem to remember you playing hockey quite a bit.
I still play quite a bit, but not like for 12 hours. I play like 1 or 2 games a day. 1 or 2 games.
Yeah. Okay. It's like an apple for you. Is that what you're saying?
I played 1 game when I went home today. Beat it out of them. And I was like, I have to ice my knee because it was sore as hell.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, I got this new ice machine for my knee.
I'm sorry. What?
The ice chest that I put on my knee because I got one after I had my surgery.
An ice machine?
Yeah, it's like an ice chest with like a little tube that goes to this thing that wraps around your knee.
Okay. So, but you understand when we say ice machine, what people visualize, correct?
A great Depeche Mode song.
No, probably not.
It also not a great song. It was early in their career.
Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Anyway,
I don't know what else to call it. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Back to
it's an ice pack on your knee.
It is not a pack.
It's a fancy ice pack on your knee.
This new one is like too cold. I had to turn it down.
You're like, whoa. Well, I believe what you meant is you have to turn it up.
Oh,
yeah.
Whatever.
That's the way temperature works.
Fan down.
Okay. Folks, welcome back to the Freaky Deaky. We're here on a glorious Thursday. Keep your fingers crossed during this episode, man. Thursday recordings don't ever turn out as good as Friday recordings, I got to tell you. And I think that what the key factor is, we're both extremely exhausted. Because you wake up at the ass crack of dawn to get here to watch my son. Well, I wake up at 3 a.m. to get to work on time and then get home. And then by the time we record, it's 7 p.m. So
I feel better this Thursday than last Thursday.
Yeah. Well, either way, call us Matchbox 20 because it's been a long day. And
please don't.
What do you got against Matchbox 20?
The same thing I have against all those bands that are like that.
Matchbox 20 has at least a few hits where you're like, you know what? I'll sing along with that when it's on the radio. That's fine.
Superstitious. That's not Matchbox 20. That's the lead singer.
Sure.
In Santana, I think.
Are you sure you're thinking of the correct song?
I might not be.
You are definitely not. Wait, you actually might be. He might have done a couple songs with Santana. What's the other one? I used to do the other one at karaoke all the time.
I used to have the album.
Smooth.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I used to do that at karaoke. Somewhere on Facebook, if people dig through my life long enough, you can find a hauntingly dark video of me in a karaoke lounge absolutely nailing that song.
I got to admit, that would be a great karaoke song.
It is. And way to take my thunder away. No, not everyone can nail it. I nailed it. It's fine. It's cool. Guys.
No, it would be fun to sing is what I'm saying.
Oh, hell yeah. For sure. That and Macklemore's Can't Hold Us. I got dragged into that by my gay bestie.
That one's all right, but not the same.
Well, you take what you can take if you're the only white person in the room that can rap, all right? So
there's never been such a thing.
I've got videos of that. I could disprove you as well, but that's fine.
There's one, Eminem.
I don't think he's considered white anymore. I think he's earned.
No?
I think he's earned it. He's allowed to, you know.
He can't say that word either.
Oh, he can absolutely say that word. That is without
Only
question.
around his homies, maybe.
No,
I don't think so.
he could do it at a McDonald's drive-thru if he really wanted to, you know. And people would be like, "Was that Eminem?" Like, yeah. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. You know.
Why